Dave Palumbo with another RxMuscle rant. I'm back again. I'm addressing vegan gains. I heard he accepted my challenge to a debate. Great. I know we got to do it on RxMuscle.com because he lost his live streaming privileges a couple of months ago. I heard that as well. No problem, vegan. We'll get you on here. We'll give you tons of publicity. You give me tons of publicity. We'll have at it. But I do have a couple of issues with some of the things you said in the last video because you just can't keep your mouth shut. You are an internet bully, pretty much. That's what it amounts to. Your muscles are Wikipedia and your aggressive tone. Unfortunately, your aggressive tone doesn't affect me one way or another because I don't give a shit about what people think about me. So that's one thing. But I do want to address a couple topics. Number one, I said that Dallas McCarver died, of a heart attack caused by a coronary blockage in his descending coronary artery, and that was the result of his death. And the reason that occurred, I said, is more likely than not from a family predisposition to coronary heart disease. The reason I said this, first of all, we know that blockages in the coronary arteries happen in most normal people because of what? Smoking, drinking alcohol, not exercising, eating high sugar foods, being overweight, obese, type 2 diabetes. This is why most people get blockages in their coronary arteries. And it takes years and years and years to get to that point, usually. Some people will die in their early 30s. Once again, usually the early deaths from coronary artery disease are not because they're super slobs, because you could see some of the fattest people in this country and they don't have blockages. There's a genetic component to heart disease that we cannot overlook. And in Dallas McCarver's case, even though being 340 pounds, taking anabolic steroids, probably having high blood pressure were certainly contributory factors that sped up the process a little bit. The main reason he died at an early age that he did was because of the fact that there was a genetic component to this disease in his body, and these other risk factors just set it off. How much they set it off, it's impossible to quantify. Even Wikipedia can't tell us that because we just don't know. There's an unknown variable. But there's a lot of guys out of there in the bodybuilding world who weigh over 300 pounds, who take anabolic steroids, and unfortunately, probably guys who take just as much as he did, unfortunately, and they're not dropping dead of heart attacks due to blockages in their coronary arteries because they don't have a genetic predisposition. So for you to make it seem like I'm a fucking moron and I don't understand this and I don't understand the fact that steroids can contribute to coronary heart disease, you're a fool. You're taking out of context what I'm saying purposely to try to prove some stupid point and superiority that you think you have over everyone else in the world. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. If anyone who watches my videos on a regular basis, and evidently you do, you would know that I am an advocate against the abuse of steroids. I am an advocate for responsible usage because I believe there is responsible usage of these compounds. Once again, anything we do in life comes with risks, but there's risk to benefit ratio. And I am a very responsible advocate of how to use these things because I believe that it's important that people have a life after bodybuilding, after competitive bodybuilding, after steroid using competitive bodybuilding. Everyone out there knows that I am on a regular basis advocating for this. How you think that I am going to possibly advocate for the use of multiple grams of testosterone a week, you'd have to be a fucking idiot to believe that, knowing what I talk about on a daily basis on all my videos, from the Ask Dave subject to the health topics that I run on this site, to the iron debates on these topics. I mean, this is all I talk about. Where you came across with this crazy cockamamie theory that I advocated for him using multiple grams of testosterone a week, and I actually sold to him, you got to be the world's biggest moron to believe that anyone else is going to believe that, knowing what I advocate on a regular basis. You saying that I'm an advocate for the abuse of anabolic steroids is like saying that Jack Kevorkian is an advocate for serial killers. That's how ridiculous your metaphor is and your analogy is. So, guy, you got to get a better game than that. You got to you're picking on the wrong person here because you're completely off base. And finally, I want to address the topic about hormone replacement dosages and whether anabolic steroids permanently suppress the body. You made it seem like I'm this fucking idiot who doesn't believe that anabolic steroids suppress testosterone production in the body permanently. Only because I, in one of my Ask Dave answers, happened to say, which is true, that in my body that just was not the case. When I went off anabolic steroids after 13 years and went on to hormone replacement for 10 years, I figured, well, I would never produce testosterone again. Well, I stopped that after 10 years and I went on a protocol to get my wife pregnant, which I did twice successfully. And when I stopped, the protocol, my testosterone remained high. I'm an anomaly. I just mentioned that out of sheer irony. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that guys get suppressed from taking testosterone and anabolic steroids. How you intercalated that from what my statement was is just a sheer proof that you'd like to take things out of context to prove whatever it is you think you gotta prove. And I don't know what it is you think you gotta prove. So once again, don't take what I say out of context, because I know implicitly 1,000 times more about anabolic steroids from both a scientific standpoint and practical standpoint than you'll ever know in your entire life, because you cannot read enough Wikipedia articles to garnish enough information to ever know more than me. So you're barking up the wrong tree by challenging me in that respect. So you're really challenging the wrong person, because no one in their right mind is going to believe that you have even 10% the knowledge that I do on anabolic steroids. And you can try to say, well, he's a fucking meathead and he takes steroids and he just says, oh, this is what I did in the gym. You know what? You just sound like a complete idiot when you do that. I got to tell you. You know what? I watch your videos, and you know what? Some of the stuff you do is pretty damn funny. You got a good sense of humor. But you know what? When you challenge people who know infinitely more about a certain subject than you do, you make yourself sound like an idiot. And you know what? It just ruins your credibility. Now, getting back to the topic at hand, I don't know why you got so sidetracked in your last response to me. I had a theory that I put forth of why Dallas died. And I believe it is linked mostly to a genetic component, obviously exacerbated by these other side effects. That was what we were talking about. If you disagree with what I say, that's entirely fine. And you can put your theory out there and we can debate that. However, for you to put out some stupid supposition that I sold him anabolic steroids and I told him to take 10 plus grams of testosterone a week is moronic. No one in their fucking mind is going to believe that. And that's why you're getting all the negative comments on your videos and people think you're an idiot now and you lost all credibility, because it's a ridiculous fucking hatch plot. Why anyone in my position who makes tons of money, selling legitimate nutrition supplements, does coaching for people, runs a media website of legitimate proportions, would need to sell anabolic steroids at this point in my life, despite what I might have done in my past, and we all have past, yourself included, where this hatched plot came from can only be that you're looking for publicity. And you know what? You got it. Now you and I are entwined in this great publicity tour. We're going to go and do a debate. We're going back and forth with these videos. You'll get hits. I'll get hits. I've already gotten about 1,000 subscribers from this cockamamie, stupid controversy already, and probably 600 emails and text messages from people clogging my phone up because of your ridiculousness that you put out there. But hey, it's all in good. I always say, as Harry Houdini would say, just make sure you spell my name right. Listen, I'm Dave Palumbo with another RxMuscle rant. Vegan Gains, if you want that debate, bring it on. Call me.